Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rocker, and we are back for some more medieval Dynasty. This is day 2. We already built our house, as you can see. Take you for a little gander outside. Seems like we got some funky weather coming in. So yeah, we got to be careful for that. But there's our little home. That's what we built there, and you can see that we got new quests. We got to set a rabbit trap, hunt wild animal, and talk to Dobronaja. I hope I'm saying her name right. But yeah, let's get right to it. Just for giggles and shits, I'm going to go ahead and light our fire. Looks like we need some water, so we're going to run over to the stream and grab some water real quick. And our food bar is about halfway. We don't want to worry about that, so let's go ahead and eat us a little dried meat. F eats. There we go. We're watching our food bar go up. We are good. One less thing we got to worry about. And we got to craft a wooden spear, a stone knife, and set a rabbit trap. Okay. So I imagine we need sticks. Okay, I got quite a few sticks, so let me get these last two. So we're going to go ahead and look and see what it takes to make a wooden spear. Okay, we have what it takes. So we're going to make a wooden spear. And we're going to set it to hotkey 3. Not much to look at, but it's a wooden spear. Okay. So now we got to make a stone knife. Let's see if we can do that. We need 2 stones. Okay. Shouldn't be too hard to find. 1, 2. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put that in our hot bars. Going to move these over here. And our weapons a little closer. There we go. Okay, so now we have to hunt a wild animal. Alright, so I believe we're going to put the torch away, whip out our spear, see if we can't find a wild animal to hunt. Okay, I guess we can throw the spear too, which is great. I'm not seeing any animals. There's a box over here. Ooh, I got a shovel. Nice. Coin. Always good. Potion of temperature. We'll take it. I'm not seeing any animals. Oh, this is a hawk spot. We can hunt a hawk. But I'm not seeing any. Oh, there's one that I'm not going to be able to get. See if he comes back. Doesn't look like it. Oh, he might be coming back. Come on, land. He's gonna land. We got him. Patience is a virtue. Okay. So now all we got to do is set a rabbit trap. We're going to go closer to the home to do that. Where's home? Oh, okay. Probably going to need some sticks to make the trap. Alright, there's our home. We don't want to get too close to the home with the trap, because the animal might not fall for it. So, let's see what it takes to make. Traps, there we go. Rabbit trap, 10 sticks, and I have 160, so we're good. We'll put her right here. And maybe... Okay, you can only get one. Oops. Alright, so now... I don't know if we have to put anything in it. Oh, just disarm. Okay, so now we're gonna hide. And we're gonna see if we can catch us a rabbit. I wanna hide where we can see. There we go. See if we can catch us a rabbit. Yeah, wabbit, wabbit, wabbit. I can hear something prancing around somewhere. Okay, maybe if we back up a little bit more. But I want to be able to see the trap. Alright, instead of watching the trap, we'll just check on it later. I gotta talk to Dobronija, or Dominatria, whatever the hell her name is. She's back in the village. Let's go do that. We'll grab some water. A little bit of a lag spike there. Ah, this must be the pub. Dominica. Dominica, yeah.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Are you Dominica, right? Nice to meet you. I'm Rasimir.
That's right. Nice to meet you. Rasimir, what brings you to me?
Unigos told me that you can fix me up with some food. I haven't eaten a proper meal in weeks.
Well, it depends what proper means to you, but I can offer you something warm and filling.
I bet you can. That sounds more than amazing.
There you go now. Tell me something about yourself. How do you know my husband?
There's nothing much to say, really. I just arrived at the valley looking for my Uncle Jordan. Didn't expect to be done searching so quickly, to be honest.
Oh, yes, he was Unigos' friend. I remember now hearing that he had eyes just like yours. I'm sorry for your loss.
That's okay. I don't even remember him, really. Most that I know about him is from my mother's stories. She always looked up to her big brother, loved him furiously, even when he stopped visiting.
A lot of people did, from what I've heard. There was something special about him.
Yeah, tough shoes to fill, huh?
The only shoes you need to worry about filling are your own. Every man is the architect of his own fortune.
Thank you for saying that. It's what I needed to hear. But let's not talk about me anymore. What's your story?
I was part of a traveling band of troubadours. I've never managed to learn how to play an instrument, but I was pretty decent with my singing. Our travels brought us to the valley not long after the death of your uncle. I still remember seeing Unigos for the first time. He had so much sadness in his eyes. Jordan wasn't just a friend of his, he was a part of him. The band left a few days later. I stayed. There was something in Unigos' presence that I simply knew my place was by his side. You probably noticed the age difference.
No, not really.
What? Are you implying that I look old?
Nothing of sorts. Anyway, so it looks like you were anchored here by love. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you could call it that, or blindness, or stupidity, poor judgment maybe. Whatever sounds best to you.
Pretend all you like. You fell hard for the grandpa and sad eyes, and you know it.
I did. He annoys me sometimes like nobody else, yet I can't imagine breathing without him. But don't let me get all soft on you. You surely got some places to go.
It was a pleasure talking with you, Dabernega. Every second of it.
Here, I know it's not much, but it will come in handy when you're starting a new life. Everything costs coin these days.
I really appreciate that, but I'm not looking for a charity. I'll manage.
Oh, come on now. Don't try to be a hero.
Men.
All right, do something for me. It won't be a handout, just your first pay.
That I can agree on. What do you need?
There's a farmer in the village. She's called Jarganiwa. She used to supply the tavern with rye, but I haven't gotten anything from her in a while. My stock is almost gone, and you don't even want to imagine what would happen to these people when we run out of beer.
Consider it done. We're speaking of beer. Unigos asked me to grab a couple for us.
Of course. Here you go.
Great, thank you. He promised to tell me some stories about Jordan.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case,
Thank you. Actually, I want to see if we have skills that we can apply here. And by that little asterisk, I imagine that we do. Okay. We're going to go with survival, I believe. Yep. So we're going to add to survival. How many skill points do we have here? Maybe we'll go up one more. Oh, okay, we have no more skill points to spend. Okay, extraction knowledge. All right, I think we're going to go with woodcutter's trance because we're going to be building a village, so we're going to need a lot of wood. Let's go with that. The skill is not unlocked. Oh, I see, because it's blacked out. Okay, so you got force of nature, treasure hunter. All right, we're going to go with force of nature because we don't want to keep replacing axes if we don't have to. All right. Now we have to deliver our beers to Unighost. Rasamir. Hey, Unighost, you're looking at the proud house owner from the valley, and I'm back bearing beers. A job well done indeed. All right, let me wet my throat with this amber goodness and start reminiscing. I knew Jordan for 22 years before he died. He was my best friend and truest friend. A brother, actually. I remember the day we met as if it was just yesterday. I was 25 at the time, living in the big city of Yellenberg, where I was born. You could say I hated that place, but still, it was the only home I ever knew. Maybe someday I'll tell you more about that, but I was forced to take care of my own, so I did. Doing the only thing I could do, stealing. So you were a thief? I was, and a bloody good one, if I might say. Picking pockets was my bread and butter. I could steal a piece of steak right from your fork, and you wouldn't even notice. It wasn't greed that motivated me, just survival. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the process. Stealing is a crime, no matter the motivation. I'd say you'll want to wait and hear a bit more before getting all high and mighty now on me. I'm sorry, go on. We had an annual festival at Yellenberg, and it always brought a whole bunch of outsiders to town. You can imagine that meant for a man in my profession. I could do a day's worth of work in a matter of minutes. So I grabbed a few coins here and there, some jewelry, a pair of new boots, and then I saw a nobleman with a money bag strapped to his belt. It was basically begging to be set free. I sneaked in behind the crowd like I did 1,000 times before, child's play. I gently grabbed the pouch and did a shimmy magic, and there it was, sitting neatly in my palm. Just needed to turn around and disappear like always, and then wham! What happened? I was punched in the face by what felt like a bull, and I was so shocked I didn't even realize what had happened until I hit the ground. My head was pounding. I could barely see straight, and do you know what was the first thing I saw next? Another blow coming. A smile, a big, radiant smile on the face of the man with two different eyes. It was your Uncle Jordan, the one I took for a nobleman. He stuck his hand out, helped me get up, and offered me a beer. Wait, did he realize you were just trying to rob him? Of course he did. I don't get it. That's just how Jordan was, you see. Your uncle was deadly clever, smartest man I've ever known, hands down. He could see the world like nobody else, predict things. He was always at least a dozen steps ahead of everyone else. So on a rare occasion that somebody surprised him, he was intrigued. And he wasn't expecting you? Indeed. Apparently, even despite my failure, I was still the one that came to the closest to robbing him, and he liked that. So I'm guessing you accepted his invitation, right? I didn't really have a choice, did I? I was terrified of the guy at the moment, so we went. He took me to the most expensive and most crowded tavern in the whole town. Remember that it was the day of the festival. Even entering that place was next to impossible. He didn't seem to care, though. In the matter of seconds, we were sitting at the table being serviced by two barmaids at the same time. It was surreal. My mind, there was only one explanation, that he was the owner of the place. And did he own the place? Not at all. It was his first time in Yellenberg. It all felt like a dream, to be honest, especially with me still being dazed after that punch. I was still sure he was a nobleman. His manners, his clothes, the way he was talking and moved, and then he chugged a beer like it was a race, wiped the face with his sleeve, and burped like a drum. He went from the lord to the savage like that. I relived that moment a dozen times until I realized why he did that. Was it a mistake? Oh no. No laziness, no moment of weakness. He wanted me to see it, to understand it. To understand what? That he was full of shit. You see, Rasimir, your uncle was one of a kind. He was a true master of arms, and his weapon of choice was his confidence. What does that even mean? Imagine a closed door with two armed guards at its sides, and you want what's inside that door. What are your options? You can force yourself in, bribe the guards, try to pick a lock. But Jordan, he just holds his head up high, walks right in, and demands the door to be opened. You were right. That all sounds surreal. I never knew that about my uncle. My mother's stories were quite different. Because I'm afraid she knew quite different Jordan than I did. Than everyone in the pack. Wait, the pack? Oh, dear Rasimir, there is much more you still don't know. Our story hasn't even reached a beginning. But it's getting late. Come on, you can just leave me hanging like that. You gotta give me more information. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit more. After the beer we had a couple more, and then some meat, if I remember correctly. We were talking about our past, our dreams, our convictions. Started making some drunk and absurd plans, although we were joking, to be honest. The next thing I remember is waking up in silk sheets. I'm guessing they weren't yours, right? Are you kidding? It was the first time I had even touched fabric like that. The ceiling in the chamber was so high it could fit a giant. I thought I was dreaming. Then the servants walked in. I was ready to flee, but instead of fighting me, they presented me with breakfast. Really? Why? It was all Jordan's doing. I had never found out how he managed to pull it off. Whenever I asked, he just burst into laughter, even years after, needless to say, I left Yellenberg with him on that day. The first time I went outside of the town walls and never came back. That was the day the pack was born. And 3 years later, there were 5 of us. A real team. A family. We called ourselves the Reminders. Oh, how I wish I could be there. It all sounds incredible. I've never had adventures like that and probably never will. Easy, my boy. It wasn't always fun and lovely, but it's a tale for another time. It really did get late, and I'm sure you still have a lot of work to do. So come, find me tomorrow. We'll talk some more. I'll do that. Thank you, Unighost, for everything. Oops, I didn't mean to stab you. All right, so we have to wait for the next day, so we're going to head back to our camp and we're going to sleepy pie. Hopefully the weather will be better tomorrow. I am dirty. Can I bathe? Don't appear to be able to. All right, so that concludes day number 2 in Medieval Dynasty. We are going to continue recording videos of gameplay and game footage. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, don't forget to drop them down below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.